I've developed so many over the past 10 years of doing this particular work. Um, I developed so many different exam steps that are not all necessary. In some cases, they're not all necessary, depending on the person and the complexity of their disease and the number of symptoms they have. But in a good number of people, I've got to go through all of these different, I've only mentioned a few right now, but all these different exam skills that I created, exam methods or strategies I created to find why is that person right. I don't want anything hidden from me. I've got to find it. The sooner I find it, the sooner they get better. The better for them, the better for me, the better for everybody, because now I get show more proof and help another person. So when we're able to find these different environmental stresses, as well as physical functions, as well as possibly the emotions, are triggering these different disease state in the person, and we can erase those different bugs, let's just say, or toxins that were in the tissues that triggered the disease state linked to that environmental stress or that emotion, the disease just like disappears. I'll tell you really, if I could give you one more example right now. My wife doing the work with me, because the work that we do, we're picking up energies from people all the time. And what happened with her after these, if I use the word jabs, you might know what I'm talking about in the past, few years. Uh, so, so before we actually got the samples of them, it was like 3 months of her feeling like she's losing the function in her hand, literally. And she's in good shape. She's active. She's 40. I don't know. I won't say the exact number, but she's young. All right. So, but she went from feeling good to all of a sudden her hand's getting weaker. Her hand feels like it's losing sensation. Her arm is in pain. Her neck is in pain. She's up at night. She's holding her hand like, what's going on? I feel like can't open a jar. She couldn't do certain things with the hand. And she's getting really worried. We tried different treatments with what we do, and it wasn't working. And then I got those samples of those, and I found that it was actually, there I said it, maybe we bleeped that out, but the M was in her lymph. And she took that remedy, and in 1 hour, the 3 months of the problem with the hand disappeared like it never existed. Just disappeared. The arm pain went away, the weakness in the hand, the feeling of loss of sensation in the hand just disappeared like it never existed. And I didn't have to do my other forms of testing, because through one way of finding, I found that, and it was like it was mind blowing of how fast that went away. So and that's another way. Let me just say this for anybody who's listening to this. That's another very serious thing that we're up against right now.
Mm.
It doesn't have to be as serious, because there's an effective way of helping the body overcome it if they're doing this work. But what's very serious is that people who never even took it are getting it through what's called shedding. It is
Mm.
leaving one body to another. So the person who did get it can transfer it without them knowing. They're not. It's not that the person is doing it on purpose. Of course not. It's the science behind that chemical that was put into them that can transfer from person A to person B, and person B is now carrying it, who never even knew, and they're carrying it. And now they start developing, rapid heart rate, or their knee hurts incredibly and they can barely stand because it's, what is it? And they go to a doctor, and the doctor looks at the knee and, no, we don't find anything wrong here. Just take your ibuprofen or take a whatever kind of pill to try to reduce that pain. But then I find that it was that chemical that entered their kidney, because the body's trying to detox it, and it happened through shedding. And when we get it out of the kidney, all the knee pain just disappears like it never even existed there. So that's something else that people need to know, that there is a way to handle that subject, and that one of the more devastating things that's happening in today's world is from that.
Mm.
Um, Not just that, but that's a big part of it, and what really I wish that I could just come right and say it. It's troubling, because there's too many people. There's
Mm.
too many people who are injured from it who
Yeah.
don't even know. So